So your boy Cook here, back with another video. Today we're going to take a little trip in the SHO. We're going to go out to a couple audio stores, one here in Ypsilanti, the other in Canton, and we're going to see about, get a quote on what it's going to take to replace every speaker in the car, but in the back where the rear deck is, I want to put two 8-inch subwoofers. So I got to see what it's going to cost me to have that done. And there's nothing that I'm going to do right away, but I just want to get some quotes on the project and see what it's going to take to put my money together to get it done. And so also we're going to stop by. I had a tire sensor fault jump off on the car on the SHO. So what I want to do is go out and check that out, either stop at Discount Tires or Bell Tires and get them to take a look at it and see where that fault is coming on at, or if I need to replace that whole TPMS sensor on the SHO. So let's go, let's hit it. So I know in the previous video I talked about replacing the whole sound system except for the head unit to either Pioneer or Rutherford Fosgate. So I also done some more research online and also thought maybe I'll include Kenwood in that package. So Kenwood does make a 8-inch subwoofer shallow mount that I would like to try to take a look at, and that's why we're going to go ahead and head to state-of-the-art audio in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and check and see if I can get that done. And like I said, get a complete quote for the whole system as far as the speakers for the SHO. And so we're going to take a look at State of the Arts and see what kind of quote they give me. You know, they also sell Memphis audio. But I don't know if Memphis makes a shallow mount sub, but I do know they make subs. So I don't really want a big magnet or a big bulky speaker in the vehicle. So like I said, I'm more or less looking for quality of sound with a little bit of thump or bass, but not too much, you know what I'm saying? I'm an older cat, like I said. I don't believe in all that bass no more. It does sound nice when it's hitting solid, but I don't want all that rattling in the vehicle and disruption of the sound system. So that's what I'm looking for. So we're gonna head out to State of the Art, then out to Canton to Mickey Shores. So in other couple places I checked online, because I'm trying to find an authorized Pioneer dealership to talk to, and maybe even partner up with Pioneer or one of these companies, have them promote me with the SHO. Who knows? You never know when you ask and you talk to people, you put your word out there, people might see your vision and want to help you out. All right, just about to leave State of the Art Audio on Michigan Ave in Ypsilanti, and pretty much what I thought. In order to get the job done, I can go Kenwood all the way around. So I can go 6x8s or 6x9s, whatever they are, all the way around, except for in the back of the deck. In the rear deck, because those are subwoofers back there, I'm going to have to put a replacement with a subwoofer. Now, I wanted to go with 8-inch subwoofers. He said you can do them, but they don't actually do the customization of them. It would be something I would have to do myself, is cut into the rear deck. I can do that, that's not a problem, but that'd be something I have to do personally. So with that being said, he did recommend JL that give out nice bass. So if I went with Kenwood from State of the Art, it's going to have to be with the JL 6x8, 6x9 subwoofer. He says he's heard it. They give out nice bass, but he also told me he recommends me go with a JBL amp. Now this amp will run everything. Only one speaker I would not be replacing in the vehicle when it comes to the hookup that he gave me is the center console speaker that sits in the front. He said that will probably run separate. They don't like to replace them. I'm gonna respect what he said, you know, and not replace it. Unless somebody else from another place tells me that I can, and they should, then I'll go from there. But with that being said, that's the only speaker that he would not replace in the vehicle, is the front center speaker. So with that being said, even the component speakers will be replaced, and the amp, with the one amp, it will run me about $3,200. That's not bad. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But he's guaranteeing me it's gonna give me the sound I like. Plus, I can take my phone and I can make adjustments to that that amp into the sounds of the vehicle. So that's another plus. So it's an app that I would download, which I love my little factory and my little apps on my phone that I can take, and I will be able to download the app and control the sound of my sound system. So it's a thought. So let's go to the next place. Before we head out to Mickey Shores, I decided to stop by Pro Tinting Tint Place. See how much they'll charge me to tint the vehicle. Actually, this is gonna be a birthday gift to myself, so I'm gonna stop by here because I'm actually passing it, and I'm gonna see how much it costs me to tint the windows on the SHO. All right, now I'm leaving the Ipsy Professional Window Tinting Place. I'm headed out to Canton, Michigan to go tell and see about what Mickey Shores is going to talk about as far as the sound system. I've been out there before. I went out there when I had my Lincoln MKZ, and I priced out what it would take to change the sound system in that. We'll see if those price differences has changed. It's been about 3 or 4 years since I've done that, so we're gonna see right before pre-pandemic. So we're gonna see what it takes and how much it's gonna cost for those prices from Mickey Shores. So we headed out there. Pro Tinting gave me a quote to tint all the windows around how I want it, about $235. So $235 again, all my windows tinted except for the front. And that's what we're gonna roll with. My brother-in-law gets all his vehicles tinted there. I got my windows tinted at another place for my Lincoln MKZ some years back and got a good quote, so I went there. But we're gonna try the professional window tint and maybe even see if they let me do a promotion as far as advertising their business through the channel. I'm not expecting any kind of money or any kind of reparations for it. What I'm trying to do is just promote local businesses and see what they say. Even with the state of the art, see if they'll just let me promote them and get more people drawn to the business. That's what we're about promoting. Let's go. So I went out to Mickey Shores and got a quote for them. The biggest issue I'm going to have with this build as far as the sound system is everybody not wanting to mess with the rear deck and put the 8-inch woofers in them. So I'm going to have to find a place that's willing to deal with the rear deck if I want to have a professional do it, or I'm going to have to do it myself. And that is cutting the rear deck, putting in something solid for the 8-inch subwoofers if I want the 8-inch subwoofers in. The other issue is just going straight with a subwoofer type 6x9. I haven't made my mind up if I want to do it, because whatever amp that I put on those subwoofers has to be enough. The subwoofers have to be enough, the 6x9s, to handle the power of the amplifier and not distort and or blow. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to keep doing my due diligence, looking around to find 6x9 sub that I want to put back there, because they do make them. It's just I got to find the right company. So the whole system will not be 100% uniform like I want it to be, but that's replacing all the speakers except for the center console and finding a rear 6x9 to go on that deck, that rear deck. But I can get it done. I'm going to get it done. So with that being said, this is Cook. This is the video out exploring for sound systems to put in the 2015 Taurus SHO, the SHO. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna do a little conclusion when it comes to the car audio system that I'm trying to put in the SHO. So this is going to be an ongoing process. It's not nothing that I'm going to do right away. I am getting married in a few weeks, and so I have money tied up. But I do want to go with a new system in the Taurus SHO. So, or the SHO. So like I said, this is Cook 740, the SHO. And what I'm trying to do is make the music more vibrant. You know what I'm saying? I want more bass. Not a lot, because I'm not, like I said, it's for my entertainment only. I'm not trying to beat the block up. I'm not young anymore, but I want that nice bass, the highs. And so I wanted to go with either Pioneer, Robert Fosgate, Xfinity, something that's going to give you nice highs, decent bass. But I have discovered another brand, which is already actually in the vehicle, and that is going to be the SONY system. What I'm going to do, because I was never changing the head, I was always keeping the head unit, the factory head unit. And what I was going to do was upgrade that to Sync 3 from Sync 2. So what I've decided to do was keep the Sony head and keep the Sony speakers temporarily. So when I say temporarily, what I'm going to do is this is what happened. I ran into this cat with a Taurus SHO, and running into him at O'Reilly's, he showed me his sound system, and it was all factory except for 2 units or 2 major parts. What he did for right now, what he said he wasn't going to change anything, but what I'm going to do for right now is something set up like he did. I'm going to put a subwoofer in the back. Now, something I really wanted to not do, but when he showed me what he had in his trunk was a little small box, just big enough for a 10. I said, you know what, and how good it sounds, I said, that's what I'm going to do. Temporarily, I'm going to go with that. So I found a Sony sub that is their premium. It's a Sony Mobile ES sub, and I found an amplifier strong enough to push it, and that's what I'm going to roll with for right now. But in the future, in the next year, because these are high-end speakers made by Sony. And so with that being said, I'm going to go with their Sony 6.5 for the front doors with the tweeters, if I can get them to fix. And I might just be able to do the 6.5, just that, and then have that crossover bridge to those tweeters if I get no bass through them. Then I'm going to go with the 6x8s in the doors and the 6x9s in the back rear deck. And I'm going to leave the factory 3.5-inch speakers that's on the rear console in the deck, the rear deck, and on the front console in the front speaker. And I'm going to see how it all sounds and rock it that way. Because I'm doing a lot of searching, and I'm finding out that with this sound system, because how Ford has it set up, you got to have a pack 4, whatever, just to get your amps hooked up to it, because this is so high-tech system that you got to have this pack unit just to hook up your amplifiers or any kind of other external devices you want to hook up just to get your sound system to roll and sound nice and be compatible, for there's no distortion and everything works good. This is what I'm finding out. So with that being said, for right now, it's going to be a Sony's system in the car. When I put that together after I get married, that's going to be one of my first to second projects, is getting the sound system to sound similar to how I want it to sound. And I'm not trying to cheat myself out, because this is a car that I wanted, and I want it to sound nice. I want it to look nice. And so I'm not going to cheat myself out on anything. So with that being said, this is Cook. This is 7340, the SHO. Let's go. Enjoy the video. Hit like and subscribe. I'm trying to get the channel to grow. Hit like and subscribe.